So everyone's super excited. It'll be cool to go on a little trip. We're gonna spend 2 days driving down to California. We're in Washington State. This was going to be like an overlanding. We were gonna camp up in the hills and stuff, and we decided that we're just gonna hotel it. So that part is a little less exciting, but what we are really looking forward to is getting this truck, and it's gonna have the Mar rack, which is the 200 series Landcruiser rack that's been modified to fit the Tacoma. It's gonna have the taco box, which is a secondary transfer case, so we can go low, low, low. And then it's gonna have an FJ transfer case so that we can manually shift it into four-wheel drive, not have to worry about that stupid little selector lever that sometimes works and most of the time doesn't work. Oh God, that's just the start of it. Then we have RCLT long travel kit. We have locked off road secondary bypass shocks, coilovers, and bumps all stuffed underneath. It's gonna be so insane. We have triple bypass shocks in the rear. The truck is gonna be a monster, and I can't wait. That IFS, it's gonna be comfortable on the road. We'll be able to take it on long trips, probably not with those tires, but we'll also be able to have super capable and extremely reliable rock crawling and mobbing abilities. This truck's gonna be kind of a very well-rounded thing. So it's gonna be cool, we're excited. Des is locking up.
Good to go. Animals are fed. Doors are locked.
Going to California. Show me the fruit!
Yes, you are, Mom.
Where are you hiding the fruit?
You're hiding the fruit.
You're hiding fruit? For real though, how much contraband do we have?
We have a thing of tangerines and 2 banana things.
Thing of what?
Bananas.
Bananas?
Bananas and some like those cutie, easy peel oranges.
Illegal! They're gonna stop us here in a few minutes, and they're gonna want to, dude, they don't really check though. It's just, they'll ask us how much fruit we have.
Fruit you got.
I'll say, well, I had a weird phase in college, but I'm over that. So, I'm just kidding. All right, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about with the fruits, there's this inspection point that is required. Everyone has to stop at this. Honestly, I think that it's one of the worst uses of resources because nobody is honest. Don't
say anything when they ask us about the fruit.
We're professional fruit smugglers. I'm kind of nervous. It feels like border control.
You got so nervous at border control.
Yeah, it's because I had a gun. There's no one even here.
We got bigger fish to fry.
I got 10 apples! Suck it! That's the dumbest thing ever.
Why does it smell like Cappy outside?
It stinks like Cappy, doesn't it?
What is that?
I don't know, but it reeks like Cappy. The smell of California! No way.
That's really bad.
Is that outside?
That's outside.
Oh, what? Ew, dude, what is that? It's the, that there's the California mountain lion. Marking its territory. Good morning, my friends. Today is the day. Dude, I've been waiting all summer for this. I'm so excited. I'm also very, very excited to see that the tires made it through the night. Dude, after having my tires stolen from my property, we got like porch pirates came. UPS dropped the tires off. They sat in a spot for a little bit and then somebody came and stole them. Anyways, I was so nervous that these were gonna get jacked. It's gonna have so much good stuff done to it. I can't wait to see it, dude. It's gonna be, and I can't wait to drive it. We did it. I just had to get the tires to this point. I'm so glad that we're making it. So the plan is we're gonna go in today. We're gonna work on the truck together. They've got, I think, one side done already. Hopefully have the whole thing completed and be hitting the trails tomorrow. Now, there's a few things the truck will still need after all of this. It's gonna need air lockers. It's such an exciting thing for me. It's such a cool opportunity for me to be able to come down here and have my truck built by these guys because they're so good at what they do, and they put so much care, and there's like tons of engineering behind this kit that we're installing today. The RCLT HD kit, it's a 3.5 inch long travel kit that's designed for rock crawling. This RCLT kit, it pushes the hubs pushes the wheel assembly forward 2 inches, and it's a patented design. That allows you to run up to 40-inch tires without a cab mount chop. All right, man, here we are. Big Mike's truck. Wait, no, that's not Big Mike's. That's something else, dude. Oh man, that suspension's so beefy. This is gonna be insane, guys. This is gonna be insane. There's Big Mike's truck. Boy, you take a look at this thing.
Yep.
Oh, there she is, reunited.
Up on the rack.
Oh man.
Been living there for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We've already got the locked off-road bypass shocks on the back end. We've got one side mocked up, on the other side.
Okay.
The passenger side's all good to go. Dual cases are in there, just about buttoned up. Yes. Drive shafts are in there. What else do we have going on? Interior's all buttoned back up.
Oh my gosh.
So Rocky's working on a couple things right now, but we're in good shape.
So exciting, man. Oh, dude, it already looks so good. And what's crazy, so I haven't seen the bumpers yet.
Okay, that's right.
Because it went to the Fab guy, so this is the first time I'm seeing this. So I'm gonna just walk around and take it all in, and then we got a lot of work to do still, looks like, which is awesome. And then we'll talk about all of the mods we're doing and
definitely
all of the benefits and everything. So let me walk around this thing. I'm super excited about this rear bumper. Woo. Dude. Oh, yes, look at these. Wow, look at that. Holy crap. Beefy. Look at that bumper, man, that looks so good. Wow. Oh my gosh. You think those will work? Not too big?
I think they'll work. I mean, there's some big old chunky beasts, but you know.
Yeah.
They should grab onto something anyway.
It was one of those situations where like, it was so tempting. Like there's such a cool opportunity to run such a crazy tire.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, all right, we'll try. They are heavy. I feel bad for the truck already. I think, yeah. What do you think of these chunky tires?
Those are some beefy tires, dude. I like the sidewall a lot.
They are very aggressive.
Yeah, when you air that thing down, I like it when that's even like angled.
Yeah.
That's gonna be some good traction.
Guys, I'm here with Brendan from Marlin Crawler. He's going to show us around everything that they've done. They've actually made a ton of progress, and we're going to learn. We're just going to learn today about this kit, the advantages of it, how much work they've done, and it looks incredible. We're really excited. So, Brendan, take her away.
Here we are. All right, so we've got Max's 16 Tacoma here. He brought it in, had a different kit on there, but we're going to throw something new on it. We've got our RCLT HD kit going on. RCLT is kind of nice. We've actually got the kit set up so that it's built around a Landcruiser 200 series steering rack. So before we even started designing the kit, we found the best, strongest, off-the-shelf rack that we could get from Toyota, and then we built our kit to actually work with it. So all the geometry works with that, lines up real well, gives you all that strength out of the thing too. So we get uniballs, upper and lower on the knuckles. So we get ultimate strength out there at the end versus the ball joints. Ball joints, you get nice turning and everything out of them, but with the uniballs, you just get ultimate strength out of it. We went ahead and Max worked with locked off-road for all the suspension stuff on this one. So he's got their coilovers here. We've got 2.5-inch coilovers, remote reservoirs there. This one will be mounted in just a little bit. Got some of their adjustable 2-inch air bumps in there as well. Initially when Max brought the truck in, he actually had a different secondary shock hoop up top, and we ended up cutting that off because when we do air bumps, we add stuff to the frame, we actually like to plate it in. So if you look in tight, you can actually see where there's plating there. So we cut off all the old stuff, plated the frame, and then we rebuilt everything else on there. So we've got our limit strap tucked in there, our air bump, and then we've got that upper hoop for that secondary shock. We'll take a look at the other side and we can see that a little bit better. For our steering rack, we've also got our updated double shear mounts that lock that rack in real nice and tight. Tucked up in there, there's also a third mount for that rack. So the rack is locked in many different ways, so it's not going to be moving around at all for you. And then also what we did, we have our lower control arm frame brace kits that we do. It's a fantastic upgrade to any vehicle. You can buy a truck off the showroom floor and weld these things on there. It plates in the factory shock tabs, or the cam tabs here. Plates that in nice and tight, strengthens it up real well, so your cam is still going to be adjustable. You can still align the truck, but then it's also got some skid plating to the bottom of it. The factory plating, or the factory tabs from Toyota, are actually kind of thin, so they bend and they tweak. Max's were pretty bad.
So Max's truck came in and the LCA tab brackets were pretty well trashed on a couple of them. Not terrible, but it's always something that you want to check out when you're going to go ahead and reinforce them. Make sure you're reinforcing something that's actually worth reinforcing. Luckily we had a scrap frame out back, pulled off some tabs from out there. We're going to slap those things on there. We'll get them tacked back in place, and that'll get that back where it needs to be so we can actually align the truck. You can see we've also got our frame plates going on up here, strengthen up the frame for the bypasses, as well as we've got our little cap that we like to put on to cover the top of the frame there. There's just a little opening there, keep some of the debris out of there. And if you've got a Washington truck, you get all kinds of dirt, debris, and grass going on all over the place.
But we were able to get them all cleaned up, got them straightened up, and then we're able to add that kit so everything's nice and tight in there, and we'll still be able to align the truck. Works out real nice. We've got them for a couple different applications with more to come currently. RCV shafts in there. Max already had those because he had a 3.5 kit on here initially, so we were able to reuse those no problem. And on this side, again, you can see we got the locked off-road secondary bypass shock tucked on the backside. Packaging on this one was fun because we got, again, our standard coilover, we've got our limit strap, our brake line, our ABS sensor, the air bump, and then the bypass, all tucked in this nice tight little package. Worked out real well though. We were able to get it in there. Everything functions real well, flows real well, and hopefully maybe we'll see this thing in the air again, maybe not, but we'll see. So, but we got quite a bit going on, tucked up in there now.
Yeah. I think I might stick to rock crawling for a while. You know, save the flying for the paramotor. Yeah,
that's a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable ride.
So these guys were telling me that the truck was pretty haggard. I mean, we knew that some stuff was a little bent in there, but they definitely had to work around a few things.
Yeah, just straightening some stuff up. Nothing terrible, but straightened it up and everything went together real well.
This old girl's been through quite a bit. I mean, this truck we bought brand new. I think there's like 80,000 miles on it, but like a lot of them are hard off-road miles, and some of them are actually off the ground.
Yes, so. Well-earned miles, yes. So out back, quick and simple. Initially, Max had another shock on the back end of it. Again, locked came on with this one, and so he's got some bypass shocks with a remote reservoir. We were able to use the shock tower that he already had on there. The reservoir used to be mounted a little bit more loosely on the frame, so we welded on some tabs, tightened it all up, so now that thing's locked in real well. It's not going anywhere. He actually picked up a little bit of down travel in this setup with these lock shocks. Initially, when we pulled that other shock off of there, the axle housing actually dropped out about another inch and a half, and we actually had to compress the lock shock just a little bit to get it to mount. So we did get a little bit more down travel out of the deal, which is, you know, a nice side benefit.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then that means that because I think my smooth body shock was the limiting factor, which is not good. I'm surprised I didn't blow them out. But awesome. So we got more travel in the back, and Brendan, you're so polite. I basically had band clamped the reservoirs to the frame. So everything is so much more professional and dialed now.
Yeah, no, that was a real nice setup. Everything went together real well. The lock shock went right in place, no problem whatsoever. And it is really neat to see that thing. It's got nice travel out of that whole setup.
Yeah, not bad at all. I'm excited to see how it compares to the front end. With my last setup, I had a 3.5 inch long travel kit, but it wasn't as sturdy as this. This is going to be a lot stronger, a lot more reliable. I think that we're going to get a lot of travel out of it. It's going to be incredible. But that's about half of what has been done to the truck. There's still a whole bunch underneath and even in the cab.
Max initially approached me and he said that he wanted to get rid of all the electronics on this thing because he's had a few issues in the past. So he wanted to put it in an FJ transfer case, which is of course the J pattern manual shift case. He had the case, no problem, but he said at the same time that he'd really like to throw in a taco box. So we were able to get him set up with a taco box. We can climb under this thing, check it out. Because of where we try and put the shifters, it's usually pretty tight confines, so we actually will do a short throw that we custom make every time we do one of these things so that we can shorten the distance that handle has to throw to be able to engage four-wheel drive, high, low, neutral, any of that. We've actually got one of our HD T-case mounts on the back end of that just to add a little bit more support. Of course, with the dual transfer case setup, you're pushing that stock case back further, so you have to actually lengthen the front drive shaft and shorten the rear drive shaft. Got those done, no problem. We've got a local shop that we've been working with for years that they get those things knocked out in a day or two for us, so it works out real well. Let's check in with Rocky real quick, see what he's up to on the interior.
So we're working on putting the short throws in here for the dual case, and we had to make a inch riser pad to accommodate for the short throw to fit around the shifters here. You can see it looks kind of goofy, but when it's done, it's all welded up. It works pretty sweet.
Perfect.
So cool. This is like, it's become the truck of my dreams just in a matter of a few weeks. I actually shipped this thing down from Washington. It was delivered here. Brendan came in on the weekend because the truck was a little bit delayed, and they've just done an awesome job cranking this thing out. We're really, really excited. And I actually haven't seen inside the cab yet, but it's got a lot more shift levers than it left home with.
Yes, more shift levers and less cup holders, unfortunately, but you know, it's a give and take.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. It's really cool to see secondary bypass shocks and air bumps. I don't know if I've seen that on an RCLT kit before.
Yeah, there's been a couple people that we've seen that have done it, but this is the first one that we've done in-house.
Yeah, so awesome. When you and I were talking, we discussed kind of what I wanted to do with this truck, whether or not we wanted to be more heavily towards rock crawling, in which case you want it more slinky, right? A little smoother or softer suspension. It's
always tough because if you want it really to travel in the rocks, a lot of people think you have to go with the softest spring that you can get. But IFS is relatively forgiving, especially if you're adding a winch, if you're adding a heavier bumper up front. You know, the stock plastic bumper weighs almost nothing. Yeah. You've added probably a couple 100 pounds between the tube and the bumper and all that, and the winch, sorry. And so you're adding some weight to it, and if you went with a super soft spring, it's just going to be mushy after that point. But if you're driving it on the street, you want it to be a little bit stiffer. Yeah. So we play with the spring rates depending on the vehicle, on the package, everything that they've got dialed into it, and we kind of tweak it for that.
The alternative would be, if we wanted it for high speed, then it would need to be much stiffer.
Usually you're going to go stiffer, yeah.
And I don't know, what spring rate did we end up going with?
Let's see, so Rory from Locks recommended 600 pounds on these. The standard that we used to do was about a 550, but we've actually changed from that. The 5th Gen 4Runner that we have, we started with 550s on that, and it worked, but it was a pretty mushy ride. Again, that one's daily driven, so it was a mushy ride around town. We've since put 650s on it, stiffened it up considerably, drives great around town, and it still does really well on the trail. It really hasn't affected it on the trail at all. Yeah, no, we've got a couple of the guys here at the shop. Mike in his truck, he drives it to Moab every time that he goes to Moab. The 5th Gen 4Runner, I actually daily drive that. I've put hundreds of miles on that in single trips and stuff, and then you go wheeling and then you turn around and drive it home. It's just comfortable, it's nice. I love solid axles, but IFS is really nice when you're daily driving the thing or you're on the street a fair amount of it. Yeah, no, we've gotten rid of a lot of the issues that the stock setups have, and like you say, it just makes it that much stronger, that much nicer, and you don't have to deal with that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So if you break an axle shaft, need to change out a boot, anything like that, it's actually really easy to break down an RCLT kit to get in there. Basically, the knuckle swings up. When it's all together, the CV goes into the unit bearing out there on the end. There's the one bolt on the top end. When you have to break it down, you take that one bolt out and you just kind of slowly shimmy that out and it'll come down. You have to pay attention to your brake calipers and everything. You probably have to pull that off and hang it off to the side. But other than that, it's real easy to get in there to actually get to it to be able to make the repair.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So it's serviceable.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here's the first look at our interior with all of the new sticks. This is actually one of the parts I've been most excited about. Woohoo! Oh, I can't wait to detail this truck. It smells funky.
Rocky got the console all cleaned up real nice for you before we took it to interior. So he said, if nothing else, you've got a nice clean top section of the console.
Hey, that's nice. This truck sat for a long time. Yeah. It's just, it's got Moab dirt in it still. It's filthy. But
That's been a minute.
Dude, oh my goodness. Look what we're looking at here. Okay, tell me what's going on here.
All right, so we've got our dual case set up. Again, our secondary case, we call it the toggle box. That's going to be this forward shifter here. And then back here is going to be the new J pattern shifter from the FJ Cruiser case. So that one obviously goes on the back end.
Yes.
Shifting wise, the rear case is a synchronized case, so that you can go from 2-wheel drive to 4-wheel drive on the fly. I don't remember what the manual is, but it's like 50 or 60 mile an hour. You can go from 2 to 4.
That's the same, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It's pretty high. It's surprising.
Because that's what your electronic is.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
wow, cool.
So the taco box is a gear drive case. So that one you want to come to a stop when you put it into low range, because you've got a big change. Because we've also got, normally when we do a taco box, we actually do our XD 4.7 gear set. For Max, we actually threw the Comp 4.7 gear set in there, so it's our stronger gear set. But it is all gear. You're going from a 1-to-1 ratio to when you go to low range, now you're popping into a 4.7 to 1 low ratio, or low range. So it's a big difference in ratio there. So with that, we always recommend, especially with an automatic, throw the truck into neutral. That way it takes all the load off of the drivetrain. You can shift that into low range and then pop it back into drive and keep going. That way it shifts real nice and easily. But yeah, so now you've got high range, you've got your standard low range, you've got your 4.7 low range, or you can put both of those into low range and you've got stupid low range.
Yes.
So you got options.
Okay, something to note about the FJ transfer case swap is that it's not going to function correctly if you don't add a wiring harness to switch on the ADD actuator. And that was the big thing I was hung up on for a long time with this build. I've had that FJ transfer case for a long time sitting in my my well house, and we couldn't find a wiring harness for it, and I had no idea how to fix that. I almost gave up on it. Mustangs. This is the switch and wiring harness for the ADD actuator from 12th State Off-Road. The whole FJ transfer case thing would not work at all without this. Connor reached out to me. I almost gave up on putting a transfer case in there, an FJ manual transfer case in there, because I had actually owned that for a while. The company I was going to buy this harness from went out of business. There was no one making them, and so I was actually so stoked when Connor reached out, like literally a couple weeks before I decided to do this. I was about to abandon that. I thought maybe we'd find a way to fix that electronic actuator. If you've followed my channel for a long time, we've had non-stop issues with the electronic actuator. Our state's super wet, they're constantly corroding, and then there's a bunch of other issues. Basically now, we can shift the truck into four-wheel drive or 4-low manually. So the truck cannot tell me not to go into 4-wheel drive, which is perfect. And then we'll do the same thing with lockers. We'll basically make the air lockers force the truck into lockers. So we won't have any of those issues that we're having in like Moab, where the truck just didn't want to listen to me.
So yeah, that just plugs directly into the ADD motor. It replaces the factory harness.
Okay.
And then you just end up wiring in. You've got the white's going to be your ground, and then there's a 12 volt power and then 12 volt light, so that the switch will light up.
Sweet.
So shouldn't be too bad.
Okay, on this side, we can get a look of what everything looks like, all bolted up and completed. It's just insane. Just so much going on here. It looks incredible. So we got the locked off-road adjustable bump stop here, secondary bypass shocks, coilovers, adjustable resis. It's beyond cool. Holy